Hello everyone. Today's presentation will focus on the critical cybersecurity risk associated with remote work. With the increasing number of remote workers across industries, there has been a surge in attack vectors targeting them. This poses unique challenges to cybersecurity experts. Our discussion will delve into the pros and cons of remote work, provide an overview of the security vulnerabilities that make companies with remote workers more susceptible to cyber threats, and emphasize the key design principles that remote workers must adhere to. Additionally, we will examine how these security risks align with the fundamental principles of cybersecurity known as the CIA Triad. Benefits and challenges of remote work. Remote work offers several benefits to both employers and employees. Firstly, it provides increased flexibility, which allows employees to have greater control over their work schedule and environment, leading to improved work-life balance and job satisfaction. Secondly, it can result in cost savings for both parties, including reduced commuting expenses, office space, and related expenses. Thirdly, remote work widens the talent pool for companies, enabling them to hire the best talent from anywhere around the world. Lastly, studies have indicated that remote workers tend to be more productive due to fewer distractions and increased autonomy over their work. However, remote work presents several challenges, including communication and collaboration difficulties due to the absence of face-to-face interaction and varying time zones. Cybersecurity is another concern since remote work involves using unsecured personal devices and home networks, increasing the risk of cyber attacks. Although remote work provides more flexibility, it can also make it challenging for employees to balance work and personal life, leading to burnout. Additionally, remote work requires a higher level of trust between employers and employees, since there is a less direct supervision. Security design failure number 1: insufficient data loss prevention. Data loss prevention measures are critical for protecting sensitive information from unauthorized access, use, or distribution. Remote workers may download or share confidential data, potentially compromising security. This design failure violates the integrity aspect of the CIA Triad, which ensures that information is accurate and reliable. Remote workers may mistakenly or intentionally share sensitive information with unauthorized parties without proper DLP measures, leading to data breaches and other security incidents. Establishing policies and procedures that prevent data loss, such as restricting access to confidential data and monitoring data usage, is crucial. According to a report by Gartner 2022, by 2023, 80% of endpoint protection platforms will include DLP capabilities, highlighting the growing importance of DLP in remote work environments. Organizations can implement DLP technologies to mitigate this security design failure and train remote workers to handle sensitive information securely. Organizations can also establish policies and procedures for data usage and access controls to prevent unauthorized access and data leakages. Security design failure number 2: insecure local environments. Remote workers may work from insecure local environments such as coffee shops or public spaces, where their devices and information are more susceptible to theft, malware, and other security risks. This design failure violates the availability aspect of the CIA Triad, which ensures that information is accessible and usable when needed. Uncertain local environments can result in device theft, malware infection, and other security incidents, leading to data loss, service disruption, and other negative consequences. Establishing policies and procedures that mitigate these risks is crucial, such as requiring remote workers to use virtual private networks, VPNs, encrypting sensitive data, and using multi-factor authentication. According to a study by OpenVPN 2021, 25% of remote workers never use a VPN to connect to their company's network, highlighting the need for increased security measures in remote work environments. To mitigate this security design failure, organizations can establish policies and procedures that require remote workers to use secure connections and devices such as VPNs and encrypted laptops. Organizations can also train remote workers on identifying and avoiding security risks in insecure local environments. Security design failure number 3, poor identity and access management. Remote workers require access to corporate resources to do their jobs, but poor identity and access management policies may allow unauthorized access. This design failure violates all 3 aspects of the CIA Triad: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Poor identity and access management policies can lead to unauthorized access to sensitive information, data breaches, and other security incidents. To mitigate this risk, organizations should establish policies and procedures restricting access to sensitive data and resources, implementing multi-factor authentication for remote access, and regularly review and update access privileges. According to the 2020 Remote Work Security Report by ISACA, 27% of organizations have experienced increased cyber attack related to remote work, with 22% reporting that their identity and access management policies have been compromised. Organizations can also use identity and access management solutions to mitigate these security design failure that provides secure and efficient access to corporate resources. These solutions can enforce access policies and provide visibility into who is accessing what data and resources. Security design failure number 4, lack of secure network connectivity. Cybersecurity risks are heightened by remote work due to the lack of secure network connectivity. Cybercriminals can easily exploit the vulnerabilities in the remote workers' devices or networks by intercepting communication with the company network, which can lead to data breaches and leaks. Failure to comply with secure access, authentication, and authorization principles can seriously compromise the confidentiality and integrity of data transmitted between remote workers and the company. In addition, remote workers may encounter challenges when accessing necessary resources. To prevent unauthorized access, companies must implement robust network security measures such as VPNs, multi-factor authentication, and secure remote access policies. VPNs create secure connection between the remote worker's device and the company's network, while multi-factor authentication requires additional authentication factor to ensure secure access. Secure remote access policies restrict remote workers from accessing company resources from specific devices and locations. Implementing these measures is crucial to ensure the safety and security of company data and resources. CIA Triad and security design failures. The CIA Triad is a widely accepted model that describes the three essential principles of cybersecurity: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Confidentiality refers to protecting sensitive data from unauthorized access or disclosures, while integrity ensures the accuracy and completeness of data. Availability refers to the accessibility and usability of data and resources when needed. Each of the four security design failures related to remote work that we discussed violates one or more of these principles. Insufficient DLP measures violate integrity, insecure local environment violates availability, poor identity and access management violate all three principles, and lack of secure network connectivity violates confidentiality and integrity. It is crucial to consider all three principles of the CIA Triad when designing security measures for remote work to ensure comprehensive protection of company data and resources. Design principles for remote workers. This slide discusses the specific design principles that must be implemented for remote workers to address the security design failure related to remote work. These principles include strong authentication and access controls. These principles involve implementing multi-factor authentication and other access controls such as password managers to ensure that only authorized personnel can access company resources. Encrypted connections for data transmission. This principle involves using encryption technologies such as VPNs or SSL/TLS for secure data transmission, preventing eavesdropping and interception of sensitive data. Regular security training and awareness. This principle involves providing regular training and awareness programs to remote workers to educate them about the latest security threat, cybersecurity principles, best practices, and policies and company policies. Remote device management and monitoring. This principle involves implementing policies and tools for remote device management and monitoring, such as remote wiping capabilities, patch management, and antivirus software to ensure that all remote devices are secure and up to date. Implementing these design principles can help organizations mitigate security risk associated with remote work and ensure that their data and resources remain secure. A case study: Twitter hack. In July 2020, Twitter suffered a significant security breach that compromised numerous high-profile accounts. The hacker gained access to Twitter's internal system through a targeted phishing attack against remote workers with access to administrative tools. This incident highlights the importance of robust security policies for remote work. The Twitter hack is an example of a security design failure related to remote work. In this case, the failure was due to inadequate security measures for remote access to critical systems. The incident emphasizes the need for organizations to implement robust security protocols, such as two-factor authentication, to mitigate the risk of remote work-related security breaches. Case study for security design failure: SolarWinds attack. In December 2020, a sophisticated cyber attack on SolarWinds, a leading IT software company, compromised numerous organizations and government agencies, including the US Treasury and Department of Commerce. The attack was believed to have started in March 2020 and went undetected for months. The hackers exploited vulnerabilities in the SolarWinds Orion software, which remote workers use to access corporate resources. They inserted a malicious code into an Orion software update, distributed the SolarWinds customers to customers, including remote workers, that the attackers use this access to steal data, instill malware, and conduct further attacks. This incident highlights the importance of supply chain security for remote work. Companies must ensure that their security practices are robust and that their third-party vendors and software providers have appropriate security measures. Remote workers' access to corporate resources must be regularly monitored, and security patches and updates must be promptly applied to reduce the risk of vulnerabilities being exploited. There are several considerations that organizations should consider to ensure the security of their remote workforce. Firstly, it is crucial to establish clear security policies and guidelines for remote workers. This will help to ensure consistency in security practices across the organization. Secondly, organizations should provide their remote workforce with appropriate training and resources to ensure they know the latest security threats and how to protect themselves against them. This can include regular security awareness training, access to a secure VPN, and multi-factor authentication. Finally, organizations should implement ongoing monitoring and assessment of their remote workforce's security posture. This can involve regular security audit, vulnerability assessment, and penetration testing to identify potential security weaknesses and vulnerabilities. By taking these additional considerations into account, organizations can help to ensure the security and protection of their remote workforce while minimizing the risk of cyber attacks and data breaches. Remote work has become increasingly popular recently due to the COVID-19 pandemic. However, remote work has also brought significant challenges for cybersecurity professionals, as it creates new opportunities for attackers to exploit vulnerabilities in networks and systems. To address these challenges, businesses must implement strong design principles and robust security policies that address the specific security risks associated with remote work. These include strong authentication and access controls, encrypted data transmission connections, regular security training and awareness, and remote device management and monitoring. By following these principles, businesses can help mitigate the risk associated with remote work and ensure that their sensitive data and systems remain secure. As the trend towards remote work continues, it is more important than ever for organizations to prioritize cybersecurity and implement robust security measures that protect both their employees and their valuable assets.